shipping. Well, that didn't last. And Amy's questionable judgment. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. Hi, Amy.
Hello, Melinda.
You can call me Dolly.
How are you?
Call me Dolly. Start singing.
Well, hello. That's
Yeah.
wrong. Hello, Dolly. Isn't it swell, Dolly? It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
You're welcome, listeners.
I'm warmed up.
You're
Good
welcome.
morning to you. Good morning
Good
to you.
morrow. What's going on, girl? How was your
Good morrow.
week?
Good morrow. Good
Weekend?
morrow.
Week?
It's been surprisingly busy for a nothing going on of import. I knew it was going to be a busy week with lots of gotta. So that's moving apace. But then there's been lots of pod-worthy moments, I guess is the point. Lots of pod-worthy moments. Because my business life right now is
Is it annoying?
It's super
Is it
explodes.
annoying?
It is super annoying because everything explodes. Everyone has decided, we do this every year, Jesus' birthday comes right in the middle of fucking everything. So it's like, why you got to get born right in the middle of everything? Everyone on the planet, even the Jews, want everything done before December 9th, really. Really.
Oh.
10th, 11th, maybe you're pushing it. Yeah, it's got to be fucking done. Because they've already mentally checked out. It's nothing but holiday parties and shopping, and I don't want to be here anyway, and I'm pretending that I'm here, but I'm not actually taking meetings. And all the deadlines continue apace. I have shit that runs in January, so if I don't get it approved and through the goose, there's no chance that people are going to be approving stuff on December 21st, including me. So December is always madness on overload. This year's no exception. So that part I knew was crazy. But so many pod-worthy moments, including, I'm told, what happened in Florida. How was Florida? Did you have a post-Thanksgiving Florida visit that you can now report on? Do tell. Spill.
I'm letting the phrase "through the goose" go like that. That I'm just gonna let walk right by like it was nothing. Okay, fine. I'll let "through the goose."
What do
I
you
don't
mean?
know.
Was that another phrase that everyone in the world says, and you're looking at me like I've never
Yeah.
heard this before?
That's what I'm doing.
What are you talking
I gotta
about?
get it through the goose.
There's too much shit through the goose. You've
Not
never
really.
heard this?
And in my head, I'm now trying to picture how to get something through a goose. And
Did I make it up?
and it's like, what do? Hold
I say it a
his
lot.
little nostrils and blow it through his beak. I mean, what are we talking about here?
It's always about shit. It's always about shit. And I'm going to admit to you that we call her mum. My mum used to say, you got trying to fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. That was one of her favorites. Trying to fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound
That
bag.
I know.
It's a classic
That I
for
know,
a
yeah.
grandmother. She would also say, go shit in your hat and pull it down close so you have brown curls.
Never
Yeah,
heard
it's
that.
lovely. She
Nope,
would
never
say
heard
this
that.
too. Yeah, pull shit in your hat and pull it down to your ears so you have brown curls. That's what she would say. And then what was another one? They're all classics. My Irish grandmother called my mom. God rest her. Miss you, lady. It was good while it lasted. I only had a short window with her, so she passed. I'm the youngest of youngsts by far, so that's how it is. You only get so much time. I think too much shit through the goose is common phrase, common etymology. It's in the
Let's find
lexicon.
out. Dear
It's
listener,
it's in the
have you heard this,
colloquialisms.
pardon me, shit before? Give us a write at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Go wherever you get on your socials and find us at Listen Brilliant. That would be Instagram. Or go to Facebook. I know it's old and it makes you feel old, but just go there. Brilliant Observations, Brill Ob Squad. One word. Find us and say, Amy, I think you made that up. Or, Amy, why are all of these phrases around duty? Or, Amy, knock it off. You choose, but let us know something. Yes, I did go to Florida for 4 days, 5 days. What did it? We went late Wednesday night and came home early Sunday morning. But I'll tell you, it would have been, Monday morning. It would have been earlier had we gotten on the plane for which we had a ticket. And they
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, planes. Fuck you, plane. You had fun with fuck you,
totally
planes?
thought of you because
Fuck.
you said you waited for 2 hours for a headrest for a flight attendant's
Oh,
jump
yes.
seat
Oh,
the
yes.
last time you flew. And they said,
Indeed,
7 a.m. flight delayed to 8, delayed to 10, delayed to noon, right? Delay. Meanwhile, we didn't sleep the night before trying to get up. On the move since 4 a.m. And I went to the desk and they said, we're waiting for a part. I've heard this story before from Amy on pod and said, we need plan B. Bottom line, we got in a very smelly cab and we went from airport to airport. And then we got on a plane and I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I was so negative. I'll believe it when I see it, to the point where I bought snacks. And as of this morning, I still can't find my credit card.
That's what's up
It
your
is.
tick.
That's what's bothering me. I can't find my credit
you
card.
You got something up your tick. I knew it the second I saw you. I felt it from your vibe. I didn't realize it was financial malfeasance related, but I did think there's a tick here. I see a tick. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's something sucking on the skin.
Disturbance in the force. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I just checked the pants.
I
went through again, and because I got online to come and meet you, and Adobe said, yeah, you can't do anything until you give me $600. And I was like, what? Right. So
they are such fucking holes. They're such fucking holes. And I have to pay for it 1, 2, 3 times, probably 4, but 3 times. Yeah, it's my husband. First of all, my husband has the Mac Daddy of all Mac Daddies because he pays for his entire fucking company. Yeah, corporate. You want to get fucked? You want to get
bend
fucked
right
with a
over and give me that
horn?
credit card.
Fucking stings. The shit's awful. Yeah, he does that. Then I do it for me. Then my fucking architecture asshole son has the student version, and that jack is still coming in at something like $62 a month.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, why can't anyone figure out how to steal this? Why can't we steal this?
Or why can't you all have
it's
one
worth
account that uses all of this stuff? Maybe a premium, whatever account, the Daddy Mac, but
they're worse than Apple. They figured out that nobody runs without us, that we are the service that everyone needs. Frankly, they may be in cahoots with Apple, because if ever this ran better on a non-Apple platform, we would all switch. We're with Apple because Apple's cool, and fuck you, creatives are cool. My point being, Adobe only works really on Apple. You can make it work on Microsoft, but at the same time, what are you even doing? Just stop. So you know what I'm saying, because everybody's like, it's not Microsoft. The platform is blah, 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 blah. Okay, IT, go sit down. I have dreams to create. Let's go. Back to you. So you're sitting in a stinky cab. Is this you and your husband?
Yeah, it's the two of us. We had a lovely trip. We spent 5 days. I saw both sets of parents.
Just the two of us.
No, it was 4 of us. We went with another couple.
Cabinet this day.
Because
why?
we wanted to torture them with seeing both sets of parents. They were the best sports ever. They had to spend time in basically my husband's parents' building, and we got to spend time with my parents. So it was a 1-2 punch, and it would have been for just the 2 of us, but it was the 4 of us. So
I don't understand. I have to. Does not compute. So you went to the state that you no longer have a house in.
Correct.
And you brought friends there.
Sure did.
To go see relatives that I love you, said with love, you don't like, on a not holiday. What is wrong with your life? You should have your credit card stolen. What are you doing?
That's mostly accurate.
There's no benefit to any of this. It's 100% accurate. What are you doing? Explain yourself.
There was an empty apartment on my husband's parents' floor of their apartment. So we took that apartment building and we spent a tremendous amount of time with his parents, which I thought could have gone either way. It was fantastic. They're amazing. His parents are great. I hit the jackpot. And we went 3 times to see my parents, twice in one day, but 3 times. And all 3 visits, are you sitting? Were great.
I am. What? What?
There were witnesses, mostly. Most of the time there were witnesses. They were on their best behavior, and we did not discuss anything of relevance, like dear father who wants a surgery at 82 years old that you'll never recover from.
Penile implant.
He wants the pump. Yeah. So you'll never recover from it. And every doctor has told you that, thinks he might have found a doctor who will give him back surgery that he feels he can recover.
You know who you need to show him? You know who you need to show
Oh,
him?
no.
You know who you need to show
I
him?
don't know who.
That rapper's mother that's fucking dead. Who is it? Donda? Is it Donda? Is it Donda? Is that who it was? She had lipo with your
yeah.
money. Everyone said you cannot have lipo because you're not going to make it. And she's like, but I want the thins. And so she had it, and she fucking died on the table. And I think it's Kanye's mother. Maybe she died of a heart condition. Somebody's rapper mother had ill-advised lipo. Elective, stupid, don't need it, and now guess what you are? Dead. Show him that.
There was
so
a case
relatable
here,
for him.
too. There was the case of a 16-year-old locally here who a plastic surgeon did lipo on her, and she did. And he gone. Like, he has to practice, so he has to leave town and get out of there. So it was a good trip to Florida. We ate all of the delicious things Florida had to offer. Those of you who are still there, I apologize. We ate it all. And the only thing we didn't do was really go to like Cookie Plug. I want to go to all these great cookie places in every state. In addition to pizza, I want to try cookies everywhere. Is that valid? Like whatever the chocolate chip cookie or the...
Why are you asking? That's like saying, should I keep breathing air? Fucking of course it's valid. What question is this? This thing with the credit card? It's got your brain for toots.
It does. I feel
You're
like
not
I'm being
making smart
punished.
sense. You're not your synapses are all fucked. You're not doing the right connections. Yes, cookies everywhere. Good.
All the time.
Yeah.
I do want to tell you something I discovered in Florida that blew my mind. I've been down there 100 times. I even had a house down there for a while. Turns out, you know those little geckos that you see everywhere? The place is riddled with them.
I do.
They're everywhere. They're about
do.
They're about 4 inches, and if not smaller. Super cute. They run across your path. You get a little startled in the beginning when you don't know they're coming, and then after a while, is that a leaf? Is that a gecko?
I feel like we even had a friend who, on a trip that we shared together, decided to get a gecko tattoo while in Florida on her pubis, maybe on the pubis, maybe, or maybe it's the ankle. But continuing geckos, yes, acknowledge geckos.
So it turns out in my parents' community and in my in-laws' community, but they don't have this, there are iguanas now down there. I'm talking like from your trip. I'm talking bright yellow green
Oh, Jesus.
and 3 to 7 feet long. They are enormous.
No.
They are
No.
dinosaurs. If you see how they're walking, I was terrified. Not because I'm afraid of an iguana. They do bite, by the way.
I am. Let's just stop.
Yeah.
Of course I'm afraid of an iguana. Why would you not be afraid of a 7-foot-long dinosaur, dragon-stepping, clawed foot, weird-faced, fanged looking, I will eat your soul and laugh about it, fucking lizard?
All of those things. That's exactly what it was. I was terrified.
That's what it is.
And my mother said, Melissa, I have a hotline number. And I said,
No.
Mom, you mean like OnlyFans? What are we talking here? And
Butterball turkey is where I went.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to OnlyFans.
My
mom's a sex
The only
worker.
hotline that I think about is Butterball turkey. I should have thought like National Suicide Hotline, something useful. No, I went Butterball turkey.
You
Yeah.
pick up the phone and you say, we have one, which is like their code for what? Catching. Yeah. And within 2 minutes, the
Breaker
truck
19.
comes and
There's a gecko. There's an iguana truck.
there's a lizard
Okay, stop
removal
it,
truck
Florida.
that comes and takes them away. And then I just sat there in the corner. I may have already taken an edible, but I sat there thinking,
No.
A, who does this job? B, how do you catch them? C, once you catch them, what do you do with them? And D, E, F, and G, who's eating them?
Ew. To all of that. No. I was hung up on how much scarier an iguana must be if you were already took a high. Now what? Right? Because I don't like them regular. I don't like them cognizant. I certainly don't want like psychedelic demon iguana coming after me.
It was a
And
relax.
frankly, I would be so scared because he would be like, bum a smoke. And
He
like,
would
come
talk
up and
to
sit next
you.
Right? And then you're like, I don't feel like we can be friends, but I also know you're here to deliver me divine universal wisdom, and I'm scared. I'm afraid. I have to open and be receptive. And he would like cross his little feet while he sat back. You can see his little knee going over the other knee and them weird-ass toes curling. It's creeping me the fuck out.
They were really terrifying. They were slow, though, I have to say. They weren't the fastest creatures, so I honestly feel like my years of Peloton, I could outrun them. But
it feels like mortality chasing you down.
It does.
Boom,
it does. It was
boom,
pretty bizarre.
Boom.
We don't have that shit
kind of
up
a nice
here.
rap.
What did we have? We had, what, killer wasps, killer hornets? What did we have for a while?
All the killers, but I disregard them.
I do too.
Because fortunately for me, they don't have enough impact locally. Until they kill like half the neighborhood, I don't notice it. I hear about it on the news, and I think, I'm so scared for the people of Florida. It was like Zika. Do you remember when Zika was coming and making all them teenage girls have birth defects?
Tiny
and all
baby
the weird
heads.
Stuff that was happening?
Anencephaly.
Oh, God. Oh, God. And then everybody carpet bombed their lawns with
poison.
Monsanto.
Yeah, poison.
And now we have adult birth defects. Right.
Correct.
So but none of them babies got it. Right. Okay.
Full size head.
Yeah.
Could you
I'm
imagine?
Super in touch. What would I like somebody to come and remove?
You got a
from me?
hotline.
Gosh, what's in my environment? What's a hotline that I want things to come and be removed? I don't know.
How about just our trash on Fridays? Like you say you're going to pick up and then don't do it. Like how about just everything else working just fine? Thank you.
I felt a little sadness. I'm going to bring it way down. Let's bring it way down. DJs, come on, light. Let's bring it way down.
I hear a little.
Just for a moment, let's get real. Let's
do it.
Let's
Go ahead.
Down. I felt a little sadness from the USPS because those fuckers are continuing to jack and dick with me in ways that aren't good. So I'm getting like one postcard a day, and then the next day I'll get nothing, and then I'll get a wad of mail, including like my neighbor's mail. I'm like, what's next? Shrunken baby heads? What's coming for me next? What's coming for me next?
Beetlejuice.
Moldy cake? I am so angry about the post office, but not at the post office. And here's why. They didn't do it to themselves.
It's not their fault.
They had ne'er-do-wellery done to them. So if there was a way that I could have a big truck come and take them all away and get them back to their happy place, I feel like they've been infiltrated by evil, and I just want my post office back.
Why is your neighbor, Louis DeJoy, still in charge of shit when he was appointed by a Nazi in a colorless house when he's no longer in that colorless house?
I feel as if, well, let's start with first of all, the operating statement for this entire podcast, nay, my life, is I have no information or authority to continue this conversation. Here we go.
Ignorant observations today.
Totally,
Let's go.
Totally uninformed. Here come. All right. With definitive clarity, I can say, yet no evidence, I can tell you, it is because he was appointed by a board/panel over which the legislative branch, or what's that branch called? Executive, over which the executive branch has no control. The executive branch has no control. So the president cannot say, I declare a new postal minion. Yip you. Instead, what happened, it was declared by some, twisto, facto, fuck you, let's, come on, let's screw it all up. And all the powers that be put the right people in the right seats to make it happen. And unlike the Ron DeSantis takes on Disney board fiasco, they didn't backstack it with enough people to be able to say, try what you will, we still going to keep our power where it belongs. Because nobody loves the post office in elected authority. They are as attacked, litigated and attacked and precious to folks as pharmaceutical drugs and the healthcare industry, because there's too much money in it. For a key number of players with influence and power and money, they stand to make more money when the post office fails than keeping it going, and not enough, too many people were asleep to notice. So for the period of the last maybe 28 years, people have been fucking with the post office, and each one of those chinks is like, let's see if you can keep walking with one leg. Let's see if you can keep delivering mail with no gas.
It's a flesh wound.
Let's see if you can deliver mail. Let's keep making you deliver mail, but now your postal route includes Europe. Like, it's just fucking
only
ridiculous.
shorts, no gas for your cars. Oh, take your own car now.
Right.
You have to. Yeah, I've seen some really sketchy things, and I have relatives who work for the post office, and they are bending over.
I'm sure they can wax rhapsodic for hours and hours about what happened to their retirement account and how it's funded and how they have had to use money to do promotional branding, which no one in the right mind should be spending for a governmental it should be a service. It is called the Postal Service. And just to stand on the soapbox for one more second before I'm pulled off by the giant hook, service means it is a function of the government. It does not exist as a business. And if you don't know what the difference between those two things, I can make it real simple for you. Real simple for you. Roads are provided to all of us as a service. They're not making a profit on the roads. They're keeping the roads safe for all of us so that we can have access to it, right? So the Postal Service is not, never should be, a profit center. And unfortunately, it is being criticized for not being a profit center, and therefore the service factor is being eroded. And the only reason for that is because folks like Amazon, UPS, etc. cannot compete with government subsidized delivery systems. So in order for them to no longer have a viable competitive partner, they've decided that grandma don't get her Christmas card on time because fuck all y'all. So everybody can sit and suck it. And now, if that doesn't prove to you that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I am your drunk uncle. And I'm not even drunk.
Bum, bum, bum. The more you know. Amy.
Or less, in my case.
Drink your coffee for a second, and I'm going to tell you how my new leaf.
Sorry, I'm just so excited.
Go ahead. I'm going to give you a second. How my new leaf did not last. Okay? I left here thinking, this is it. I am going to turn this new leaf. I'm always trying to turn over a new leaf. I want to be more positive.
I love you.
I want to put myself out there. I want in my head to do more. Remember the tale of two Melissas? One of them is the one who says, I would love to see you because I like this human. And the other one is day of saying, I'm not leaving the fucking house. It's dark and cold outside. I live here now. If you want to see me, I'll order in food. So the tale of the two.
I love this roll. I love this roll. I love this roll. We're just going to keep coasting right now. We're going to keep coasting on this roll because I'm going to reinforce and fill up the tank even more to say, what a great job you are doing. How exciting. I am so happy and fortunate to be witnessing you as you blossom even further into the best possible Melissa. You're sitting right now in front of a backdrop that has radiating designs coming out from your head that proves to you how expansive and glowy and positive and sunshiny you are from your core all the way out to the rest of us. And I can't wait to ride your fucking moonbeam. Go get it, Gold Star.
Here we go. My child is going spring semester to Australia. And there's Melissa who said, well, I can't not go. This is my one opportunity. And I booked a flight. And we're going to Australia. Right? Positive.
I love it.
The second it's booked, I immediately get diarrhea and panic. Right? Immediately, number one. Number two, I say, which one of my dogs is going to die while I'm away? Number three, what am I going to bite into that's going to make one of my capped teeth fall out and I'm going to be stuck in the outback missing a front tooth like a fucking aboriginal? I'm down a spiral. I'm on a downward spiral of all of the large things that can go wrong and will. And
good feeling gone.
24 hours on a plane. I just did 2.5 from Florida, and I'm crippled with my back. So I can't imagine what I'm going to do with that. So yes, all the things. And we already bought our tickets, and they're not first class because it was the difference between $3,000 and $16,000, and we do not have $16,000 to spend on just the flight.
$16,000 is like you could have a car for that amount of money, right? Not a great one, but you could.
Sure could.
Yeah, I would not. That would $16,000 is more than most people put in their retirement savings for the year.
So
it's like
how dare you ask that for
double the maximum? Yeah.
So we could not afford that. So we went the 3 route, which is a sting in itself because
Comfort Plus.
That's what we got. Comfort Plus or Douchebag Plus is what we called it. Chump Plus. That's what it was. Chumpy Chumpers.
You're going to be great. You're going to be great, Sheila. Wait until you see.
I'm already
You're gonna be
thinking of ways to cancel the trip because we did get insurance, but you need to have a catastrophic event. So I've got plans is what I'm saying. So it didn't last.
You're so funny. You're so funny. I've got an international trip, as you know, coming up in days, I guess. I keep getting emails about it. And I could not be less prepared. I basically will be surprised the day that I leave. Oh, it's today?
And you've got shopping to do for it, too. So
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. So I do envy. You are in an enviable state. You are superior in ways that cause desire in others to be more like you. In this way,
Please tell.
you think about what's coming. You think about what's coming, and you actively plan
Panic.
for how to make it better. How to make it better.
Sure.
No, we're going to spin it.
Okay.
You
keep
think about
spinning.
what's coming,
Yeah.
and you actively plan for how to make it better. We're going to ignore the part that you fear that the world is going to dissolve under your feet and
Correct.
you'll be floating in space without any kind of oxygen. We're going to ignore
With
that
my
part.
diaper
Instead
on,
say,
yes.
We just drop the catastrophic part and instead say, so how can I survive it? Well, that's an active way for you planning to make things better.
How can I
That's
survive
good.
it?
I don't plan to make things better. I look around and go, how did we get here?
How to,
And people say, because you bought a ticket. What do you think? And I say, I don't think.
yeah, my husband said, okay,
Sometime I'm going to start
that's
thinking.
$8 million on our tickets. What are we going to do when we get to Sydney? Just stand there like idiots? We then have to tour
That's
and
right.
stay and do. So it will get back up to that number. But I'm horrified by even getting there. And once I get there, it's not like Florida, where yesterday we were delayed for 4 hours. What do? We could always drive home if we needed to rent a car. Yeah. Australia does not allow that. Yeah. Okay. I listened. This is privilege bitch problems, but I want you to realize I'm trying to flip the script and it flips right back on me.
It's not privilege bitch problems. Let's be straight up. It is easier for you and I and privileged people and affluent people to slip into this mindset and slip into this thinking, which I'm about to tell you, and that's good. But it's also aspirational for us at our level and for everyone at every level. So don't shortchange the fact that because we got a head start in this race, we don't get to have the mindset that works. It's easier for us to adopt it. If anything, think of it this way. It's kind of a sin. It's kind of your responsibility to use the mindset that you have already a head start into having. It's kind of a sin to reject all of the trappings of having this head start instead of saying, oh, no. Because here's the reality. The head start that I'm talking about, the ease in the mindset is thinking this thought. There's always more money. You can always make more money. You can always solve the problem. Here's the real mindset trick. Everything's going to work out because there are entire categories of folk whose brains have been trained with evidence over their lifetimes and over the generations that things are never going to work out for you. They're just not.
They're called
Look around.
Jews.
And instead,
what are you talking about?
and
It's what we're raised to believe.
Instead, you can adopt the mindset, evidence-based or not, that everything is going to work out for us. It always does. It always will. And all you need to do is start looking for all the ways that it did work out. It's just taking whatever situation you're in and looking at the opposite, because the opposite of whatever situation you're in is still true, right? You had a disastrous, painful on your back, frustrating flight home from Florida, and the opposite is still true in that you arrived home safely from Florida, and you're in your house, and you're back where you want to be, and your back is still holding up your head. Like there's lots of, you can always look at the same set of facts from the other side of the mirror and figure out what you need to do. So there's always more money. There's not always more time. There's not always more health. There's not always more opportunity.
Which is how I
so
booked
you got to grab a hold of it when it's coming. Thank you.
That's why
So
I
be
booked
excited.
it. And like Stuart always says, my answer to his mother when she fixed us up on our blind date was, in a moment of weakness, I gave her my number. So in a moment of weakness, he made this reservation and we're going. While the boy is away, we will show up. We will do our stuff and meet him for hopefully 2 dinners over the course of our 10 days. And then I will come back. And if I come back,
go do the thing.
Toothless.
Go do the thing. Eat the shrimp on the Barbie. See an opera at the house. I don't know what else you do in Australia. Go do those fucking things, right? According to Alexander, it's a very good, very bad, no good day. What's the terrible?
It's a no good, very bad. It's a no good. Oh my God, Alexander and his terrible, no good, very bad day. You have to say it in order.
That's what
it doesn't come out.
You have to say it. Yeah, you do. But the answer is, even in Australia, right? Tomorrow is another day. Go there.
That was Scarlett O'Hara.
Get excited.
Okay. Wow.
Get excited. Forget the cost. Forget the cost, because the cost of not doing it is so much greater than whatever and however long it's going to take you to pay it off.
Do you think I should issue a bingo card for this episode, and dear listener could print it first, and as we go through, there's a box for self-deprecating, there's a box for Australia, there's a box. We'll figure it out. It'll be great.
You're so cute. I love the bingo card idea. That should be our holiday card. Anyway, you're fucking great. I'm so excited. Everything you're doing is wonderful. Gold star. Did you get your gold star today?
Not yet.
Here you go.
It's early. All
Atta
right,
girl.
rock on. I could go back to
Good
bed
girl.
now.
Good girl.
And find my
Such a good
credit
girl.
card. Fuck. Amy.
It's fine. It's out having a little vacation and nobody's spending it. It's good.
Amy, how do
Yes.
you use your notes app?
I use it a lot.
For what?
Am I the only one?
No, everybody uses
use
it
it for-
so differently, I find. How do you use yours?
What? I use mine for more things than I should. So I use it as a personal journal. I use it as a literal notepad for jotting down idiotic things I need to remember. I use it for organizing files. I use it for keeping track of punch list items right at the front, like during meetings and what have you. I keep track of lists. It's frankly a second brain. That's how I use it. I use it as my second brain. Anything that I need to remember goes into that app. And that even includes sometimes contact information, which I know is insane because you're supposed to put that in your contacts. But sometimes you don't need, like, I don't need to create a contact card, including the cell phone number of the 4 production assistants that are on this one shoot that I will never see again because they're hired by someone else who I know real well. Right. So it's like, I don't need all that. I just need to keep track of you today in case we get lost in between. So that kind of shit goes in Notes app. Grocery lists, ingredient lists, all the things. But it's if I have to remember it, it goes in Notes.
And do you have it organized?
What else could you use it for?
You have it organized with different files and you can go under, or is it?
I super don't. I super don't. So here's how.
Just one long note?
No, God, no. They're all individuals. So I'm not chaos. So in Mac world, the format, when the thing opens, it has a kind of headline looking bolded font, large size title that it allows you to enter in, and then everything else automatically formats at like regular note size. So I use my titling similar to how we share information back and forth on the board. I name each note with what will help me to remember. So I have a me likey this note, and that's where I just, whenever I see something that's good, I put it in there, right? And then I have Christmas, where I'm keeping track of all the gifts that everybody wants. And then I have market, and that's the list of all the things. And then I have orders. Orders is another easy note that I have. So every time we do a takeout order, I put it all in the same
smart.
note, a
So
long
if
continuous
somebody
note.
wants their usual and the company or the restaurant doesn't keep a usual,
They don't have to tell me again. And then I can be sure to order it exactly this way with that thing, blah, blah, blah. And really, so I don't have to type it again. I just kind of copy and paste it, and then there you go. So anyway, so the sorting complex is all based on titles, and then it has a search bar at the top. So I just generically remember what titles are, and I start typing, and then they all show up, and I can select from those. Why? What is this not normal? Is that not how people do it?
I'm trying to teach my parents how to use notes. Just go there and remember things because they're losing their minds. I said, here, for example, I'll show you mine. And mine's kind of savage because I will have one note that lasts for 27 screens. But I have others organized, like one named dog names. And if you open it up, that go with our last name. We had Izzy Brilliant.
Of course. Perfect.
Not so brilliant, like all the things, right? Restaurants I want to try are on the savage list. Where you parked in a parking lot so that you remember. If you're not taking a picture of it.
That's a photo. That's a photo, yeah.
Names of bands that somebody told you should listen to if you like. All of these things that I have. So there are things.
That's on my recommendations note. Yep.
All of those. And there are people who don't use it, who rely on their memory. And I have parents who don't have a memory, so I would like them to start using it. And then I realized not everybody uses notes, and everybody really uses it differently. And I found it fascinating sitting at dinner listening to how everybody else used them. And I thought, oh, just for a shopping list, that's interesting. You know, you can share your notes app. It's a cloud, and we can do it's underused.
We share notes back and forth among the family. They all
Love
have links
that.
in it. Yeah, it's 100%. We have shared calendars. We have shared notes. They're all, and I do itineraries on notes. And so that's the easier way to keep track of things for a family trip because the kids invariably don't listen to me at all when I talk. And then the flip side of it is I tend to say 6 things that contradict each other, and I expect them to know which one of them is true.
And that's why they don't listen.
So writing it down and then editing it as things morph and change, then everybody can at least have a record that they will then ignore and not look at. That brings me to another point. I just want to say this to you.
Say it.
What? Because I think you are in a unique position to comment and frankly be an authority on
Can't wait.
this. Okay. I put any generic sender puts in the email, I will be here until 7:30, blah, 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 lots of extra information, talk soon. I write back, sounds great, thank you for all of that, would love to see you this afternoon. Are you available at 3:30? Person writes back, as noted, I am here until 7:30. So yes, I am available at 3:30. Just text me when you come.
That was rude.
So
I mean,
that's
it was
just
rude,
the example.
but okay.
Well, the example is somebody gives you information in the email.
Go ahead.
You miss it. Ask them a question that was answered in the previous email, and they write back and say, as noted, and they repeat what was in the previous email. So
They're calling you an
do
idiot.
you have any thoughts right out of the gate? Because I have a question. So let's hear your first thoughts, and then I'll give you some.
Well,
some
the as
questions to
noted
clear.
is, why do I even bother emailing you if you're not going to fucking read it? It's look up. I already answered this question. You're wasting my time. But yeah, as noted is a is that what you're talking about? The reason
I'm
this
questioning. Yes, you're right on. You're right, dancing all around on the top of the pin. So this is perfect. And here's my follow-up question for you. As the person writing, as noted, what goal do you have in that? What's your goal?
making you feel
What's your
shitty
desired
about
result in
not
writing
reading
it?
and wasting my time. Yeah, my goal is to make you realize I already answered this question. It's we could have done this in an email and not a conference call. We could have done this instead of a meeting. It's you're not paying attention. You're wasting my time.
My follow-up question is more specific.
Go ahead.
Are you interested in communicating to me that I've wasted your time, or are you looking for me to say back to you, somehow I've wasted your time and I'm sorry? Like, why are you doing
No,
this?
it's an admonishment.
You know
it's
that
not,
your time's been wasted.
It's not looking for it. No, and
So-
it's a
so
slap
it's
on
a
the hand.
punishment.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a slap on the hand.
Because I just don't understand any point of that. And the thing is, this is from a coach who is super wonderful and charming. And my kid had something that needed to get looked at, and he's not our regular coach. So it was kind of back and forth about scheduling. Like, I'm just trying to make sure that you're going to be in the place, because you're not in an office.
Right.
I'm just trying to see, right? So this isn't even like
You wear sweatpants to work
making an
every
appointment.
day.
I'm not making an appointment with the president. Let's start there. Number one. Okay. So I get it. Everybody's time's important. But I feel like and I could care less about this admonishment, because I didn't take it that way. I'm like, okay. So my response naturally, and it's always my response when this happens to me, if ever it happens, was to write back the first sentence. Thank you. I didn't read your previous email closely enough to see the
You
times.
didn't have to do that.
Glad you clarified. We'll see you at 3:30, and I'll text you at this number. Deal? Right? So my point being, what is he trying to get from me? Does he want me to, because he could have communicated, the same result could have happened by him simply saying, when I asked, are you going to be there at 3:30? He could have said, yep. Yeah. So do you want me to say back to you, oh, I made a mistake. Good thing you caught that. Or like, what benefit is that? Is that what he's waiting for? Because I'll give you that. I absolutely give you that.
I don't know
And now
him.
are you happy?
I don't know him.
Anyone who does
but
this.
there's
I
a
don't get why
person
people do
who's
this.
looking to admonish you, and there's a person who just has a formal way of speaking, who is just. But as a coach, I'm less inclined to think it's a formal way of speaking, as locker rooms are not a formal place of speech. So my thought was,
or frankly, of holding schedule. So another thing is, I sort of need to clarify, because the last time I came to see you, even though you're there until 7:30,
you weren't there.
Today, you weren't there, which is why I'm sending you an email in the first place. I don't care about any of that stuff. My husband does this all the time to everyone in our family, And he doesn't really do it to people outside of our family. He has become the information source. Sorry, he doesn't want to be. Everyone asks him shit that they should already know, and it enrages him. And so when it's us, when I'll say something like, blah, 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 you know, and he's like, it's in your text thread, it's in your email. But then he doesn't say, as noted, blah, 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 and tell you again. He'll just say, it's in there, as in, go find it and
well, that's what I'm saying.
Rocks or whatever the phrase
That's
is.
what I'm saying. He doesn't have the time. He's already handled this. It's IBID. He's just like, see previous source. That's different from saying more formally in an email, I've already covered this, or see previous email, I'm not repeating this to you, or I told you before, I'll be here till 7.
I'm remembering just this very moment. I had a business partner who would never keep track of anything because he knew that I did. And so he would ask me shit that I had already sent him. And I finally got out of the habit and I said, I sent that to you. And then he would write back, no, you didn't. And I said, I did because it's in my sent folder and you've lost it. So go find it yourself. And I wouldn't resend it. And that went on for about 6 months until he finally wised up like, oh, she's not going to play my game anymore. That's not what my husband's doing. What my husband's doing is to answer the question, you're wasting my time because I've already told you. Go waste your own time and fucking find it because I know I sent it. And then I take great joy in finding it and realizing that what he thinks he sent, he didn't send. So, haha, if you want to play the right game, I'll fucking win because I'm right and you're wrong. I don't care about being right until it becomes you're going to die on this hill. I'll stab you in the throat.
That's how you'll die.
But that's not what's happening with the coach. That's not what's happening with the coach, though. My point is, I don't care. I don't care who's right in this coach thread. I just want to get my kids seen. Like, so if you want to play these little 5th grade games, like, I don't even understand the mentality.
Well, you just said
in my husband's case, it's intimate. It's it's interpersonal just in our family. He doesn't do that with other humans. Right. He's pissed at us because we don't pay attention to him. Well, sorry. What do you expect?
And he has a right to be pissed at you. Right. People love to help. You're counting on it. It's different.
We're not going to change.
It's different when you're talking about children. We had a teacher in elementary school where you would ask a question and she would tell you the appropriate place to look up the answer. Answer the fucking question. Miss whatever, how do you spell blah?
Right.
Thorndike.
Right.
She would say Thorndike, which was the name of the dictionary or whatever it was. And we had to walk across the room, pick up a dictionary, fill out whatever we wanted.
Can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you?
They were teaching you something. You are now talking about adults, dealing with adults, treating them like fucking children. If it's your husband to his family, he's letting you know, I've already thought ahead, planned this out, and informed you of this information. You are taking away the work I've already done and telling me that didn't matter. Why did I bother wasting my time to do this? And that's the way the coach is talking to you. I'm not a fan of that. You have a job.
I don't care. Well, but that's the thing. I don't even know what he's trying to accomplish when the coach does it. Because if I missed it in the first email, I'm a human. Newsflash. Humans miss things. We are fallible. It's possible. And next time when you do it, how many guns do you want pointed at your head?
I'm going to tear you a new ass.
I like to think I am always forgiving when people are late, even disastrously, chaotically late, because next time it'll be me. So it's all part of the fucking karma. And also, at the end of the day, you're here now. Let's move forward. Like, what problem are we solving?
I think you're I don't think you're solving that problem.
Exactly. I'm solving the problem of how can we connect, and you're solving the problem of you didn't read my email closely enough. Okay, I'll waste some more time.
I'm sending you back to do it again.
I'll waste some more time and say that, right? I'll say that I didn't read it closely enough. Thank you. Can we get back to when I can see you? Or is that okay? I don't get why people do this. Part of it, I think also, I was the point person I ran a software firm. We wrote custom software. People would call the owner of the fucking thing, and we had so few customer requests, meaning whatever it's even called, like what's the thing called when people need help? The help center. We didn't have a call center because the shit never broke. But on occasion, people would do it, and they would just come to me directly. I would get the same questions over and over from the same person about the same thing that was fixed. So I've just developed this kind of Teflon that I don't even acknowledge that I've heard this 1,000 times or that you should have this information, because that doesn't solve anything. So instead of me writing back and going, you know how to answer this because it's in the quick reference guide on page 5. Instead, I just tell you what you fucking called to ask for, because why did you call? And the next time you call me, I'm going to turn you into a bigger client. So I just don't understand people. That was my question. Thank you.
I'm here for you. I know that Thanksgiving is now over, and Thanksgiving weekend is the chance that people have while the whole family's together to take out that tall ladder and to string those lights and to spend all of that family time together for the beautification of your home. I assume this is what happens because Jews don't do this. What
It's so good.
has that happened in your house? I know several holidays you've stopped really adorning your home in such a way because you're not there. You don't decorate like that anymore. Did you decorate this year?
I started before Thanksgiving laying the groundwork for a Christmas decor assault. I started laying the groundwork. I enlisted friends and cohorts and said, listen, we got to make this happen. There's only so many days that it can happen. There's no desire to make this happen. I can't physically do it myself. I don't want to do it myself. How are we going to make this happen? How are we going to lean on and change the hearts and minds and will of all the people around me to make this happen? And we had multiple conversations about it, and it was ongoing, and it was ongoing. Finally culminating in you, child home from Thanksgiving, who's a giant, you, child who is also a giant, are going to carry down the gigantic Christmas tree bundled up from the attic. You're going to carry it down and physically place it in the room it's going to go in. Long ago, we wised up, and we now keep the thing in the attic, and we put the tree on the second floor in, like, there's a room in the front of the house, so that when you drive up to the house, you see this glorious tree up at the top of the house. It's right in the windows. It's gorgeous. It's the whole thing, right? But we never go up there to look at it, so it's kind of a stupid place to put the tree. It was such a big deal to get them. I had arranged for the youngest to bring his girlfriend over, and they were going to decorate it all day. We were going to make cookies and cocoa so that I didn't have to fucking do it, so that it would be done. Yeah, cut to. It sat in that room for 2.5 weeks, wrapped up in the green bag. And I finally decided yesterday. It's going back up in the attic. This is stupid. This is stupid. So it takes about 18 minutes to bring it down from the attic. So it's going to take about that long to carry it back up into the attic. So call it an hour. So my Christmas decorating was done in a day. All we had to do with a couple of weeks in between, bring it downstairs, bring it back up. Didn't even unwrap it. Didn't put shit on it.
So no tree
lights,
this
no
year.
baubles, no balls, no tree. No, I'm not even taking out the nutcrackers. I have a massive nutcracker collection. Not taking them out. Not putting up a creche. Not putting up a nativity scene. Fucking nothing. Nothing. All I'm doing is cookies, and I have hyper simplified the cookies down to only 3. But of course, when I was making the ingredient list, I've got 2 alternates, so it's technically 5. But still, only 3. You know, you'll see. I'm not going to make
most
myriad.
Wonderful time of the
Tighten that
year.
shit down. Bolt it down.
All right,
If
what
I
are
could get
they?
away with not,
What are your cookies?
if I could get away with not buying any gifts for anybody, it would be the best Christmas ever.
Venmo
It really
Christmas, everybody. Venmo Christmas.
No, that's the worst part. I'd love giving the gifts. I don't like spending the money. It's fucking tight. I don't want to, because the gifts have gotten too big.
What are your
Christmas
5 cookies? Yeah.
I am doing the 3 must-haves, traditional. We do, we call them 7-layer cookies. Sometimes people call them magic bars. It's basically a graham cracker cookie with 2 kinds of chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, sweetened condensed milk,
Coconut.
walnuts, and coconut. Yeah, so that's 7-layer cookies. So that's a lock. Spritz cookies, of which there are 2 types that cannot be missed every year. The first is the camel. They don't even make
Because you're the only one with the. I love that
from the
tradition
40s.
for you.
It's from the fucking 40s. It's so difficult and fiddly and fussy to do because it's shaped like a little camel with chocolate jimmies on the back, and then it has for the eye. It's one of those Red Hots cinnamon hearts, which are also hard to get now. So it's the thing where even the shit that you make, not only are the cookie materials going away, but the ingredients are going away. Making those. Then everybody loves another Spritz cookie. I dye them green, and they're green Christmas trees, and I decorate the trees. It's all the same dough.
Wait.
But it feels like a...
And then you do what? Do you dip them in chocolate on one side, the Christmas tree cookies?
No. The Christmas tree Spritz, I actually decorate the top with something called sparkling sugar. So it's, if you could picture sugar crystals that don't dissolve, that are large and chunky enough that they kind of stay up. And it ends up looking like ornaments on the tree. Because I tried using those little nonpareils, however you say it, the little round ones, and they break your fucking teeth. They're no good. So I've tried everything under the sun. I was going to go with, they now have glitter flake. They have like everything. I tried everything. in the end, it's just the classic. I'm using the sparkling sugar. So, but I do dye it myself. So it's actually, they're like ombre. Because you can take white sparkling sugar or sanding sugar, any of these sugars, and just mix them in a zippy bag with a drop or two of food coloring, mix it around, and then now you've magically got whatever color you wanted. So tint your own sugar, kids. You're going to be able to make beautiful designs that way. So those
I
are
buy
the
that at
three
the Amish
that are
market.
standards.
I buy the colors
Right.
at Amish market, right?
Right. And that's another way to do it, but we don't all have an Amish market. And also I like every color under the sun.
I'll get you what you want.
I'm also going to do a variation on the 7-layer bars, which I think I stole from somebody, or I maybe like blended 2 recipes. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I'm going to do graham cracker crust, sweetened condensed milk, chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, pistachios, cranberry, coconut. I'm calling it White Christmas. I might put some marshmallows in there
because only
too.
white people would make that. Oh,
No,
marshmallow!
I think
Did you
it's
put
white.
marshmallow in there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
That's what makes it white.
That
Christmas.
sounds fucking good. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm also going to do, just because I can't not, I'm going to do these Rice Krispie treats, but you could also make them instead with like Frosted Flakes. So it's like corn flake style Rice Krispie treat. So Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispie treats, dye them green, and then put them in little circles, and now you have green wreaths. And you put little sugar bells on the bottom, so it looks like a little holly berry. It's delicious. So those are good.
Now
and
need
then
cookies.
Yeah, and then there's like 2 more that I'm gonna fucking do. Oh, I'm gonna do. I need a lemon cookie. We used to the traditional Italian cookie, the iced Italian cookie. In my house, we would call them taral. And tarallis are not. They're not at all what they're called. I think that's just what my grandmother started calling them because she had forgotten what they're really called by the end or whatever. They've always been called tarallis in my house, but when you buy tarallis in a store, they're like little wheat tubes, so they're clearly not tarallis. But tarallis for us are the little iced, always lemon, little round mounded cookie with a big icing on top and then the little sprinkles on top. So I'm gonna obviously make those, but I'm going to make them crazy lemon.
How close to the highway do I need to go to get a pile of those cookies from you? How close do I need to get?
You're not even going to see me. The visit is so fucking fast.
I need to get those lemon cookies from you, and I don't know how to do it.
We will figure out a way, and it might be that you're going to join me and the rest of our dear listeners at a podcasting conference in Florida.
All right, let's talk about that.
In January, the date of which I can't be bothered to notice. We'll put something in all of the. We'll put it in the show notes.
I think it's like the 28th. I think it's the end of January. It's
we
one
have been
day.
Nominated. We have been. It's part of a much larger conference, and there's like an unplugged conference, and then there's also an award show, and we have been nominated. Thank you very much by an international panel of judges in multiple categories. Nominated for. Best podcast host, funniest podcast,
badass bitches,
most beautiful gold star, badass bitches, greatest cookies, best credit card loser, all the things that
That's
we
me.
have. We're all in the. You're gonna win. You're shoe in. You're shoe in. That's the Sonic Bloom Awards, and they are being held in January, someplace in Florida at some time. And that's it. I'm really good on the details, as you can tell.
It's in Orlando.
But you may have an apartment. What is it? I don't know.
It's in Orlando, which is very far, which is where that Gideon's Bakehouse is that makes those cookies that make you want to slaughter your mother. So we're going to have to go to Disney Springs.
I will totally do a live recording pilgrimage, and I will fucking do it. Let's do it.
All right, I'm in.
Do it.
And
Only God can do it.
We'll get pizza at some point, too, so we will have gone to Florida, had pizza together in another state. It'll be great. Dear listener, what are you planning for your holidays? We want to hear all about it. Let us know everything. Right now on TV, all you see are the most incredible, very same storyline Hallmark movies. It seems like Amy's living in one live.
Okay.
Are you?
I normally wouldn't tell this much accurate detail.
About anything.
But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I couldn't believe it. Okay. So Sweet Baby Rocco calls, and the girl that he has been close friends with for the better part of a year, and they have been saying, we're not going to do anything except be close friends. They fucking broke the seal in some ways. And they decided that they're very slowly going to migrate from being friends into So he's very excited and enamored with this kindred spirit where they really fell together. I think they honestly met in Prague. So it hasn't been that long, but they've sort of known about each other and been in the same friend circle. Really, 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 it's working out. Okay. Because it's scary to go out with somebody basically at work, right? So this is ill-advised, but they're deciding to go forward. Okay. So he tells me, and I kind of don't even know if it's her because I feel like I'm living in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Or we met each other in Prague over the winter time. So it's snowing every day. And we're in this tiny little landlocked city where we're cooking meals together all the time and like working in this tiny little shop like elves. Like the whole thing is fucking ridiculous. And then our first date, an official date, we went to the town square where they illuminated the Christmas tree for the first time. And I'll show you a picture of this tree. It's stunning. And then we went out for hot cocoa. And the next day we went sledding. This is our date. And sledding in Prague, let me just tell you, it's not like, they have a tram that takes you to the top of the hill.
I'm terrified.
And it's a giant scary. She was like bouncing. He took a video of her and she went over the hill and it was like, whee! And you separate from the sled. I'm like, this is not good. Yeah, she's a wild, crazy person. So it's super good. Okay, my favorite thing is when all this happened over the weekend, he totally forgot to do and turn in an assignment. And it's the end of the semester. So assignment turning in is a very important
kind
thing.
of crucial now. And it's project.
He walked in to the professor's office and he said, I've never told the truth as an excuse before, but here it comes.
Oh my God.
I completely forgot to do this assignment because I spent the weekend falling in love with the girl. So I finished it this morning. I finished it this morning and I'm turning it in late. I hope you will still give me a grade. And he walked out.
Oh
and
my
he got
God,
an
I
A.
could cry.
I spent the weekend falling in love with a girl. So I completely forgot to do this assignment.
That's exactly what you want for
you'll
your
accept
child.
this.
I'm just, I can't. Oh my God. That's exactly what you want for your child.
Oh,
we had
little
lots
babies. My favorite part is that I've never told the truth for an excuse. That's the win.
It's brilliant.
Because normally he's like, an iguana bit my dick and I couldn't do it.
I called the
And now I have
hotline,
a
but
crazy-
it didn't come back.
Yeah.
Right. I have something along those lines, dear listener, that now that she made me cry, that I want to read to you. And I'm not going to give it too much of an intro, but it's called December, and I think you'll get it. It's always hard to think about the end, to sum up what happened from beginning to now, what you did, who you became and unbecame, how far you went to the edge of grief, how love always brought you back, how you left or stayed, how you grew or bloomed, how you fought so hard to stay the same. It's hard to think about the end, to think that soon we'll start another year. For now, let's let the last short days rest gently on your shoulders. You were here and you lived and you breathed in air and you took up space and you changed the world so slightly. Let December hug you back. Hold on until it's gone. So I read this and I think, who died? What happened? But it is the end of a year. It is the end of a year. And we try, Amy and I, to be better, to do better, to know better. People don't always love to help. We try as best we can, and we're always disappointed. We trash ourselves. We encourage you. But this is saying it's okay, even if so slightly things have changed. Even if let's hold on to the rest of December because it brings with it such joy and pain. Pump it up, pump it up. Sunshine, never and rain. Keep it going, keep it going. We want to thank you for spending this year together with us. It was a great year. It was a terrible year. It was everything. And next year is going to be the same. And we desperately hope that you come back next year and spend next year with us, the good, the bad, the ugly, the joy, the pain, the sunshine, the rain. I really think Rob Bass knew what he was talking about. It's all coming
I'm
back.
getting so excited that I might have a 2-week hiatus coming up the way you're talking about shutting down the whole fucking year. I love that poem
There's
so much.
no
I don't know
hiatus.
who wrote it.
We'll be back.
I don't know. Oh, she's such a fucking
I'm an
grinder.
asshole.
So here's what I fucking love about that poem. All I heard was, how sweet is it to prepare yourself for whatever's next. I just heard, because the new beginning is the part of the closing.
It's the best
the
part.
ending is the flip side of the new beginning. So it's so exciting that we're putting the cap on that pen, because there's a whole new fucking pen coming, and I don't know what that is. Could be a Sharpie. Nobody knows.
But dear
Very
listeners,
exciting.
you're spending the next, I'm going to say 2.5 weeks, all caught up in what Amy was talking about, the travel, the crazy, the cookies, the family, the go to. I want you to know it's I don't want to say it's the travel, it's the journey, not the destination. I don't want you to be disappointed, because it's not for nothing. It's all good. And even the bad is showing you what Amy said. Good's on the other side. So we will be back next week. Amy does not get a 2-week hiatus.
Fuck me.
But I would like to push you into the next 2 weeks thinking, let me enjoy the journey, because I don't want to get to the other side and say, what the fuck? Because what the fuck is a whole new journey.
I completely agree. I know we're wrapping things up. I'm not going to launch into a whole nother thing here.
I doubt that, but go ahead.
You know I will.
I'm already crying. What do you have?
The short answer is, my challenge for the rest of my life, really focused on the next 2 weeks, is what's important stays, and the rest has to fucking go. And so that means I'm not completely changing my entire wardrobe before I go on this big trip. I'm not wedging in 9,000 projects that didn't get done all year long but magically have to get done because the end of the year says so. I'm not spending 7 straight days on cookies, which I would love to do, at the detriment of everything else, or staying awake 19, 20 hours a day when I'm too old to do that anymore. It wrecks me. So I'm going to do what can be done, and I'm going to challenge myself to every day in the morning at the start, prioritize what can't be gone, what can't be left off. What are the things that have to be done that are critical? And then everything else is gravy. Just focus on what's important and let the rest go away.
What we're telling you, dear listener, as Amy did beautifully, it is okay to say, I did not do this. I spent my weekend falling in love. And that is what we wish for you, to spend your time in preparation for this holiday, unplugging, falling in love, and just enjoying every minute. We love you guys. Come see us and hear us again.
It sounds so nice when you say it. I hadn't heard it when somebody else says it.
I mean, it's
so
beautiful.
nice.
That's beautiful. I told you, it's what started this perimenopausal soak that I'm going through right now.
Go get it, little baby.
We love you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
There's a lot of places you could be. That's not where you are.